Chris Evans, this is a little interesting sort of side topic, but Chris Evans, also known as Captain America, is using his Hollywood fame he's been critical of Donald Trump. He's used his fame in an outspoken way. In 2017, he started an organization called A Starting Point, to create a place for dialogue, something that sounds like is similar to what you're asking for. He's very, maybe the opposite end of professional work as Captain America, but I wonder, do we have to be Captain America to do this work? He's actually become well respected on Capitol Hill. He basically provides a forum for people. It's like a no spin type of thing, but he actually seems to really mean it. He's really trying to get people to come at topics in a way that's concise and speaks from their heart, as opposed to, as you point out, speaking about the other person's problem and defining the other person. Just trying to get people to talk about where they are and get rid of the hot air. Do we have to be Captain America to do this work?
Well, no, but I do think that we have to see the nature of the problem, and that should lead us to think about our country more from the bottom up than from the top down. So that I don't think you can be hopeful about America if you look at the country from the top down. There's just not a lot going on in Washington that should lead you to think everything's going to be fine. But if you look at the country from the bottom up and you start with human relationships and you build up to institutions and communities and build that way toward a sense of solidarity that can be national, then first of all, there is more cause for hope because there are a lot of good things happening in America at that level. And secondly, it also is possible for each of us to have something to do. If you ask yourself, how am I going to fix Congress? Most people don't have anything to offer on that front, because even if they've got a great idea, they're not in a position to do much about it. When you ask yourself, how do I help my community be a little better? Most people do have something to offer. We can see problems more clearly. We can imagine solutions. We can find some people who agree and do something. And that can add up, not only because those solutions can build up, but because that's how we change our attitudes. That's how we come to think more in terms of we and us, and this is our challenge together. I'll tell you a quick story. I'm an immigrant. I was born in Israel. I came to the U.S. when I was 8 years old. I became an American citizen when I was 19, and I took the oath at a courthouse in Newark. And after the judge who had administered the oath gave a little talk, and I thought this is going to be some great patriotic What he said was very short. He said, from now on, you can't talk about this country in terms of they and them. You have to talk about it in terms of us and we. And that was it. And my thought then was, well, I don't know, that's a missed opportunity. He could have said more than that, talk about Lincoln or something. I have gone back to that little speech more than anything I've heard in my life. Because so much of the challenge we have now is about talking about America in terms of they and them instead of us and we. And to begin from us and we is just easier at the level of the interpersonal. But when you get in that habit at that level, you can also get better at doing it at a national level. And that's just so much of what we need, is to see that the problems we have are not the fault of some outside force that's acting on us that needs to be pushed away. It's us, and it's all us. And so how do we approach it that way? I think that's where we can begin to solve problems.